What's up, YouTube? March57 here with some ranked gameplay and a deck profile for you. This is the deck profile used to get to Master 1 this season. I'm going to have the deck profile links in the description below. This is going to be a high-level video of the deck profile. If you want a more in-depth guide, I have another video up on my channel. There will be another link in the description for that video as well. So just looking at the deck, obviously we're going to run Max C. Most decks run Max C. We're running Ash Blossom mainly to negate a Max C. Max C does really hinder our deck and just kind of ends our turn. There are ways that we can end with them maybe drawing like 1 or 2 or even 0 sometimes depending on our opening hand. But Max C and the called buys are going to mostly, the Ash and the called buys are mostly going to be for the Max C. We're running 3 full loss just because Fiendsmith is finding its way into everything. So this is a good way to just kind of shut down the Fiendsmith line, and it does shut down other cards and other decks as well. Then we're on the Super Poly, which is the same as the other video that I mentioned. The one difference really here is that I'm running 3 Memento Fusion, and the card that I switched out because we're still at 40 here is the Horned Dragon. I took Horned Dragon out of this build. Horned Dragon is a very good card. It's just when it's in your opening hand, it is a brick. And he bricked me one too many times, honestly, in the climb to Master 1. So I just took him out. It's just not, I feel like the deck works better without him. I totally understand if you want to keep Horned Dragon. If you wanted to keep Horned Dragon, I'd probably take like a breakout out of the deck or a fusion. Either one, really. So the most difference from the video, my other video, is the extra deck here. We don't have Cross Sheep and Paul USA in this build. I would lean towards maybe using that extra deck, honestly. The difference is that we have Earth Golem and Typhon. Typhon has not won me a game. It's gotten me an extra turn. And I think off the top of my head, even from that, I don't think I won the game from there. It can help, but I could see switching it out. And Earth Golem, it's really good against Math Mech, which maybe we'll see more after the ban list. So maybe once Snake Eyes Fiendsmith kind of falls off, hopefully we can take Rex out and keep the Earth Golem. Because of the Cybers monster, that's kind of where it hits Math Mech kind of hard. This could also be used on like an Apollo and a IP Masquerena, which I have used it on once, but he only came up once. I really added him for like prep for the Math Mech. Everything else in the ED I think is solid. Since we're on the Super Poly version, Super Poly is our main advantage going second with this deck, honestly. And so I want as many Super Poly targets as possible, just so that way I can break their board. And so that's like, you know, we have the staples, Moo Dragon and Garara. Dragon Stapeli is a main staple. Chaos is here for Blue Eyes, sometimes branded. Rex is obviously here for Fiendsmith. Snake Eyes Fiendsmith, sometimes Fiendsmith control as well. Cyber Eternity Dragon is here for Crystron. It works really well against Crystron. Surprisingly, I haven't seen a lot of Crystron on the ladder up to Master 1 and then even in the rating duels. But this should clear their board because the one Cyber Dragon monster, this will include the Cyber Dragon Infinity. And then it just needs 2 other machine monsters. All Crystrons are machine monsters, and they're going to end on Infinity, Dragster, and Takalis. So this should, in theory, eat their entire board. The like 2 times I went against Crystron on the ladder, I had like one time I had Ash in hand that I can remember, and I just let them full combo because I also had Super Poly in hand. And I knew if I let them full combo, I could just take their whole board away. So that is something. One thing, if you were to look up my Master 5 list, I wasn't running Ash Blossom. I was actually running Droplet over Ash Blossom. So almost the same deck, just Droplet instead of Ash Blossom. My one hang up with Droplet is that Droplet is a -2, right? Because you have to discard for it or use something on the field. but it's always like a -2 or more. Super Poly is a -2 because you have to discard, but then you get a monster, so it's really only a -1, and you take 2 things from them. Whereas if you wanted to take 2 disrupts away from them, like on their monsters, like you wanted to hit Apollo with Droplet and Desiree, well, now that's a -3 because it's Droplet and 2 other cards. So I think Super Poly really helps this deck going second, and I think it's the better choice over Droplet because our extra deck is so open. I mean, we really only have to run Twin, Creation King, and Guardian Chimera is almost basically a staple in Memento now. And then obviously most Memento players run Paradise. So you really only have like 5 things, well, and Vert, I guess. 6 things that you absolutely have to run. You don't even have to run Little Knight. Little Knight is a very good card to run in the deck, but you don't have to. So you have all sorts of options for the extra deck, and I think that's why Super Poly is so powerful in this. So we're going to go over a few gameplays. If you have any questions, please comment. If you could like the video, that greatly helps. And if you subscribe for more content, I'll be trying to upload like more videos like this. Okay, this first duel is going to be against Branded, and we're going second here. Luckily, we opened up an Ash Blossom, and usually if it's a 60-card deck, we know it's Branded. Also, you use Branded in High Spirits, so we're going to save Ash Blossom for a Branded Fusion, which he opened up with. Luckily, this doesn't get negated, so we do kind of just stop him here, as you'll see in just a minute. So he summons Quim. Quim's going to throw Cartesia to the graveyard so he can add that back to his hand. And then he triple tactics talents to grab a Fusion Duplication. And all this does is this is going to allow him to use Branded Fusion on our turn. It just duplicates the effect of a Fusion card in your graveyard, right? So he gets Cartesia back. He's got Quim on the field. So we need to draw out this Fusion Duplication. Luckily, we have a Full Loss in hand, so we're going to ditch this. And then he's going to activate Fusion Duplication so we don't get our draw, since it's Chain Link 2. But in our hand, we do it. So we have Dark Blade, and we have 2 dodges. We have Bone Party and Goblin Grand Breakout. And then he's going to summon this Albion. This Albion is kind of neat. I don't see this a whole lot, but during our turn, as a quick effect, he can target 2 monsters in any graveyard and special summon both monsters, 1 to each field. Okay, so now he's Fool Lost. And he summons the Cartesia. Now right here, so what he did is he activated Rinbrum from the graveyard to special summon the Fallen of Albaz, right? Fallen of Albaz, on normal special summon, he can discard a card and fusion summon, and he can use either field to fusion summon. So he's going to use our Dark Blade. I mean, that's what he's after. Well, we can get Dark Blade off the field, but Goblin Grand Breakout would put a Goblin on field, and still he'd be able to use the Goblin. So we're going to use Bone Party here. And we're going to pop Dark Blade and add Tatsu to our hand. And then he's going to have to use his field for the fusion now. So I kind of say, because if we lost Dark Blade, we wouldn't be able to do anything. So he can't fuse because we didn't have a card on field, right? Now he's activating his Albion to target 2 monsters in the graveyard. So he targets our Dark Blade. And he targets our Fool Loss, okay? Well, we have Memento Fusion in our hand. And we destroyed Dark Blade with the Bone Party, right? So now Fusion can use that Dark Blade in the graveyard. And so we can effectively dodge this effect. Cartesia's going to activate. It's not that important. He's going to get his other Albion out. And we actually got a draw for Fua because of that. So then we're going to Fusion Summon into Twin. He no longer has his 2 targets. So his card doesn't activate because he targets 2 monsters. And he can't do that anymore. So the rest of the effect doesn't activate. So we're going to use Twin to pop itself. He uses the other Albion to Fusion Summon. And he's going to bring out his Mirror Jade with this. That's fine. And luckily with our Fool Loss, we drew another Fool Loss. So now 1-for-1 is active in our hand. So we added Sleepy with our Twin Dragon. Twin will revive the Tatsu. We're going to go into Fusion. I'm trying to draw out his Mirror Jade here. So we go into Creation King. And still important to note, we have Goblin Grand Breakout, so we can dodge a targeted negate or the Mirror Jade to banish our Creation King. He doesn't target it, so then we're going to add the filled spell. And I'm going to force him to target it by trying to pop it and the Mirror Jade. So now he targets my Creation King. I'm like, that's great. I'll Goblin Grand Breakout. So now there's Goblin. Mirror Jade comes out. He's going to banish Goblin. So I still have my Creation King in my graveyard. All my monsters are going to get destroyed. All 1-for-1 for Mace. A Mace, add Bone Party. So this is important because I know my field's going to get destroyed and I can't get to an OTK position from here. But I can wipe out his field. So we'll both start with nothing here. Set Bone Party, set Fusion. Now, from the Mirror Jade popping my Combined Creation, since I didn't use the field spell this turn, I can now summon my Creation King and Akihiron to the field. So now I have a pop 2 on my turn, a Bone Party, and a Fusion. Obviously, he gets to do a bunch of graveyard stuff with his various cards. So he gets another Branded Fusion. So we're looking at, I don't even know, another Mirror Jade coming out. His turn. He's going to do a few things here. We'll speed up a bit. Okay, so this is important. He has McCourier in hand, right? McCourier, you can send this from your hand or face up on the field and negate a monster effect, okay? So that is important. So now Creation King can be negated. So we do have to play around that. It's not going to be easy to play around that. Rebellion, allow him to Fusion Summon, grab to do another Mirror Jade by using his Banished. Mirror Jade's effect's activatable, so he's going to use it. I'm going to chain mine to pop his field. He's going to McCourier stop that. So then I'm going to Bone Party pop Aki here. Maxi, whatever, doesn't really matter. Bone Party pop Aki. We're going to summon Witch. Warrior stops Creation King. Creation King's going to get banished. Face up, that is important. And then I'm going to draw, and I'm going to send back Goblin to my hand. In this instance, I should have sent back Creation King because he can't kill me this turn. So I should have sent back Creation King. I chose Goblin. I'm probably slow. I'm probably low on time here too, but it won't matter, as you'll see in a minute. Get back Goblin, which adds Darkblade. He branded in whites for Chaos. So Chaos is going to allow him to pop 2 spell or trap, or two cards, sorry. I'm going to Fusion so that way I don't just lose my Witch for nothing. And I fuse into Guardian Chimera here. So that made the Goblin grab not as bad, right? Because now the cards used, sorry, you can draw cards equal to the number of material used from the hand. And if you destroy cards your opponent controls to the number used from the field. So I get to pop 1 in this scenario. This is bigger than his Mirror Jade. His Mirror Jade's already banished, so I can't get rid of it. And I don't need to destroy it because then it'll destroy my field. So I'm just going to destroy one of these guys. I draw my 2, I destroy Lebellion. He just scoops because there's no way he can win. So this replay isn't great for my opponent. He didn't draw anything, so he just ends his turn here. But this is really going to show how good the deck can be at dodging disruptions. So we're just going to shotgun a Max C. I was just kind of seeing if he had Ash Blossom, honestly. He does, so he's going to stop my Anguish. That's fine, honestly. I'm going to save Called By for his Max C. We're just going to Goblin Grand Breakout. Now, it is important here. So if you have Bone Party and Goblin Grand Breakout, if I only had Witch, like if I didn't have Aki in hand, I would have Bone Partied, popped the Witch, because then if they somehow stop Bone Party, like if he didn't use Ash on Witch, he could Ash Bone Party, stop it, and I could then chain Grand Breakout and still get Goblin out. Whereas if you use Goblin Grand Breakout first, you tribute the monster, so it's gone, and I no longer can use Bone Party at all. But in this scenario, it's fine because I have Aki in hand. So he's going to Gamma us. So I'm going to Bone Party pop. Which, this won't stop this. This does negate the effect. So I'm going to Bone Party pop my Aki. Because this is going to get negated anyway. I want Aki in Graveyard so I can special summon him off of Goblin being destroyed. He's going to try Droll and Lockbird me. This is going to seem weird because we can play under Droll and Lockbird very well. I'm going to Called By the Droll and Lockbird. He doesn't have anything. I know he doesn't have anything else in his hand. I mean, I guess if he had Valor, I would really regret this. But he doesn't have Max C if he's Droll and Lockbirding himself. So we're going to summon Aki. Now we can attack directly and Mace Pop Self. So that was just kind of a way to show how we can play through a bunch of disruptions. Okay, in this gameplay, we're going first. We open Sleepy, not the greatest opener. Sleepy is essentially a 1.5 card combo, so we would need another Memento monster in hand to actually normal summon him to get an effect out of him. But we did open Grand Breakout, so we can, as you'll see, normal summon Full Loss, Grand Breakout, and get our Goblin out. Then once Goblin pops himself, Sleepy will be able to special summon itself. So we're going to send Gaddock and Horse. We're doing that because we already have Fusion in hand, so we don't need to send Gaddock and Fusion with Goblin. So now let's go ahead and Fusion summon into Twin Dragon using the Horse and the Sleepy. We'll then add to hand another Horse and Akihiron. Horse has not been special summoned, and we haven't used Horse's effect yet. We'll bring back Horse with Twins special summon. Then we'll get Creation King out with Fusion. We're keeping this Horse in hand so we can special summon him for Paradise Smasher since this is turn 1. We want to go into Paradise Smasher. Okay, we got the field spell. Now we sent a Witch to the graveyard here. And so we're going to pop Creation King and we're going to special summon Witch with the field spell because our third Horse is in the deck, so we'll Bone Party pop to get our Horse out, and then that'll give us our 3 horses for Paradise Smasher. And we can use Anguish to search, so now we have Mace for a change of heart. Next turn, Bone Party pop Aki, grab back Fusion. Now we have Fusion for next turn, special summon Tatsu, and let's just go into Paradise. And then now we will roll 2. 1, you love to see a 1 for your roll. 3, so here I lost. We're just going to make sure. And then with Gaddock and Witch, we can get Little Knight on board just for added protection. It's important to note, now that we use Paradise Smasher, he can't Nibiru us. Mace did have to go back. We didn't have enough names in the graveyard. He was showing probably having a Bastille, which would make sense because he looks like he's a branded player. And so when I used Memento Fusion earlier to get out Creation King, I shuffled back a few names that I necessarily might not have to get the Dark and Lights out of the graveyard. So that is something that it doesn't really show in the replay, but he did kind of flash like a Bastille or something that was only activatable when I didn't have a monster. So I assume Bastille. We get back Bone Party, so in our graveyard we don't have any Darks or Lights, and yeah, he just scoops. This is a optimal board for a Paradise Smasher going first. Okay, in this one we're going first, and we're going to go for Paradise Smasher again. If we're going first, we're usually going for Paradise Smasher. You always love to see 2 Called Bys and an Ash in your hand. They really can't stop much. Now, you'll notice that you can see his hand This is actually from a tournament. I'm going to called by that because I want this to go through. Now, this does mean that our Ash is dead on his turn, which means that he will get his Branded Fusion off. But this is from the last week's Meta Weekly. This is, I think, our game 2. And as you'll see in a minute, not to spoil anything, but I'm going to get Paradise Smasher out, and it's going to fail. And I'm going to kind of show you guys what happens in that scenario, because there's not a lot you can do. So we're kind of going down the normal line, like we're just trying to get Paradise Smasher. So we're going to add Sleepy Akihiron, resummon Tatsu, summon Sleepy. We'll use our hand to go into Creation King. And we will have a called by for his turn. And I don't use it. And I'll show you where I should have used it. And it probably would have helped out a little bit. We can add Sleepy back as a Gaddick, right? This is kind of just normal combo stuff, honestly. We really added back Sleepy just since Gaddick, we never had to use it this turn. And Sleepy is good to have in hand. So here we go. We're going to summon Aki and our horse. He has no disruptions, which is awesome for us. Bone Party pop Aki like normal, so we can grab our fusion back. Okay, now we're going to go into Paradise. Now, Paradise, remember, has like a 94 or 96% chance to succeed when you have 3 materials. So we roll an 11. He rolls a 2. And a 2. So best we can do is make his 9. So 9 to 11, he wins. This is one thing I wish I wouldn't have done. I did sort of kind of need to get Gaddick to Graveyard, but we shouldn't summon Little Knight here. If Paradise went off and we lost the roll, Little Knight can't activate. So this is just a 1600 defense like card. Like this can't do anything for us. And we're just going to lose a really good card essentially on his turn. So now I shuffle back everybody. Mind Creation's good to get out even if you lose Paradise because it's a 5,000 defense. We have Bone Party called by Infusion, but none of our monsters can activate effects, so Bone Party and Fusion are basically dead cards. So Brandon lost. So this is right here. I should have activated called by. And I should have banished his Fall from Albaz, either here or I think there's another spot. It probably wouldn't have mattered right here because, well, no, it would have. Yeah, I should have used it like right here. I was really trying to wait for an optimal time to use it, but Branded Lost blocks you. So I can't respond now because of Branded Lost on the field. He gets McCoyer. I can't respond to that, so his Fall of Albaz just gets to get banished. I can't called by it before to stop Lubellion. So I should have chained it to the original Branded Fusion. Okay, and then he's going to go through his turn. We're going to speed this up a little bit here. He's going to banish our Creation King. Not a big deal there because we can get him back with Akihiron. He does not have lethal. Even if we wouldn't have had SP Little Knight on the field, he wouldn't have had lethal, but so now we have to deal with the McCoyer in hand. We know about that. This card adds a little bit of complexity too. And we probably should have called by it, but it's fine. We don't know that this is branded in red. And we do know about branded banishment. Okay, so now we can activate effects again. So we're going to summon Goblin. This is really just to try to get him to do something. And he activated Branded Banishment. This is great because he can use it from either field. So we can Bone Party Pop to get a Tatsu to hand. Now he can't use our field. He has to use his field to fusion. And he summons Chaos. So we really... And again... Branded Lost, we cannot chain called by to this effect. So we can't hit his Tragedy or his Fallen of Albaz. So really, once the turn switched, We should have hit this Fallen from Albaz with the Called By. So now we're going to lose that, and we're going to lose our field spell. We do keep Fusion, which is good. So summon Tatsu. This is just to try to, pull out something, get rid of a negate. It's perfectly fine. That doesn't go off. Because we destroyed something with Bone Party, so we can special summon Sleepy. So now we have Mere Jade to fear, essentially. Pop that. We're going to add some stuff. We have normal summoned. Akihiron is here. And we need a way to pop Akihiron. So we summon Goblin, because we never used Goblin's effect. Activate Akihiron. Pop Akihiron to grab back our Creation King. Or, our Combined Creation. And Akihiron has been activated, so we can attack directly. Gadget can grab back our field spell because we have a fusion right here. We've already used Bone Party. We don't need anything back in our hand. We use Sleepy as well. So let's summon Combined Creation. We need to draw out this Banish. He's not going for it. Creation King. Go ahead and send 3. We're going to go into battle. Or wait, is this the same Mere Jade? So it is. So we're not trying. I'm sorry. We're not trying to bait out this this Banish. He can't use it. So we go for the direct attack. He special summons Fall from Albaz with Rimbrum. Fallen from Albaz is going to try to use our field to special summon or to fusion summon. Well, let's just pop everything. Now this is the damage step. So we're going to pop everything. Fallen from Albaz can't do anything. We can then, because he activated an ability successfully, we can use Combined Creation to special summon any Memento from our hand or graveyard. So now we can just bring back out Creation King. And the field spell obviously will let us get another one. We'll grab Witch. She hasn't activated, so we can add something to our hand. And we can still just go right for the direct attack. So that's something that's kind of neat, because he activated something in the damage step, and our Creation King went to the graveyard because we made it pop itself. Then we can use Combine to just bring it right back and just keep going for lethal. Okay, so this is going to be a going second against Sharks. And we open 2 Super Polys. There is a misplay here, and I'm going to go over it with you guys just so you don't accidentally do what I do. He summons Abyss Dweller, and Abyss Dweller hard counters us. And I just really wanted to get off the field really quickly, so I kind of misplayed my Super Polys. Sharks you won't see a whole lot in the ladder. I think this is one of the only Shark decks I saw on the ladder, actually. So he's going through all his combos. He's just going to end on like 4 Xyz monsters here at the end. Here we can kind of speed it up. The stuff he's adding is not super important. There's his Lancer. So this is one of his boss monsters. There's Abyss Dweller. And there is the Knight. I think he does one more. Yep. He goes into another Lancer. And now it's our turn. Okay, so we have the ability to use both Super Polys right now. So Lancer and Knight are both Agua water monsters, okay? So that means that we can summon Garua using both of them, right? Because it's the same type and attribute. And then this guy's a Beast Warrior, and this guy's a Sea Serpent. Both water, so that means that we can use Mood Dragon. Well, Abyss Dweller and this Lancer are kind of the better out of the 4, and so I'm actually going to target both of them and not thinking it all the way through. Oh, I'm sorry. I'd target those 2. I should have, like I just said, targeted the ones I said, this one, that one. But I just wanted to get Abyss Dweller off the field before he could activate it. Obviously, he can't activate anything if we use Super Poly, so I got rid of Abyss Dweller. So now I have to deal with this Lancia, which he's going to activate right here. So what this does is once per turn, if an equipped card becomes equipped to him, you can attach one monster your opponent controls this card's material. So he just equipped Fortress by banishing the full armored Xyz. Well, I have Bone Party, so I'm going to Bone Party pop Goblin, because this isn't a target, right? So he doesn't target, he just gets to grab something. So I'm going to Bone Party pop Goblin and put Tatsu in my hand. So now he has to take Mood Dragon. I don't care about that card. And that enables me to special summon Tatsu from my hand. This didn't matter. He's just gonna go into this guy. Just gives him another negate. But we've destroyed Goblin, so fusion is activatable. So we bring out Twin Dragon from here. Gonna pop him. We got Sleeps. Dark Blade. We'll resummon Tatsu. And then obviously we'll go into Creation King here, except he had Virtue Stream. So he's going to be able to destroy 2 cards we control, which is unfortunate. It is important to note that Sleepy's effect does not require Sleepy. So if he would have just popped Sleepy and we had another Memento in hand, we could still go Creation King with 3 Mementos. Obviously we can't do anything if we only have 1. But Sleepy, once he's destroyed by card effect or battle, he can send a Memento card to the graveyard. So we're going to send Gaddock. Gaddock's going to allow us to grab Bone Party. This is going to enable a play on our next turn. Pop them, grab a fusion, drop those 2. So we couldn't normal summon anyway. We already normal summoned, but we're going to have to drop Dark Blade for Super Poly, or we can Bone Party pop Dark Blade and use Memento Fusion, because we have quite a few names in the graveyard. So he's going to do a bunch of shark stuff to special summon all these sharks. And he's going to go into this guy. So then what he did is he detached the material from it, and then he gets to pop a card on the field. So you can attach 2 material, target 1, spell or trap, and attach it to it. So it doesn't even destroy. So we're going to pop our Dark Blade. Except we're not, because the Ash Blossomed it. So now Fusion's dead on our... Memento Fusion's dead. Super Poly is not dead. And we actually lose that Bone Party completely. So then we do get our Super Poly off. We're going to go into Garua. 2400 defense. It's enough to just take a hit. We also get a draw. Called by, not good. But they got the called by off the deck, so hopefully we can draw something that's worthwhile. He goes into Stealth Kraken for another attack. Not lethal. This play didn't... he adds that thing. He's going to do something else with the graveyard on our turn that won't matter. Okay, so we have Memento Fusion and called by. And we draw a Goblin. We needed this, okay? So we summon that. Super important. He knows we have Memento Fusion because we popped. Right, he knows that we have this, I believe. Let's go back and double check. Popped. Yeah, we added fusion back with Gaddock here. So he should know this is a fusion. Well, he just popped our our Goblin. And that's a destroy effect. He just destroyed it. So now fusion is fully activatable. So now we're going to fuse. We're going to go into Creation King. We already have a ton of stuff in our graveyard. Let's go ahead and send our other Creation King, Aki, and our combine. Let's get our field spell going. This ice barrier thing is he's just adding a water monster to his hand. It doesn't actually do anything. Or well, he sends one from deck, adds one from the graveyard to his hand. So we grab Memento, field spell. Now we're gonna pop Creation King because we need to OTK this turn. I mean, he has a good field, right? Let's bring Akihiron out, and we have not Sleepy'd this turn, and we sent Sleepy back to the deck. Put these two out here. We'll go ahead and pop Goblin, Gaddock, Sleepy. Bone Party pop Aki. Get a Witch just to grab another card. We're going to send back our banished Creation King to our ED. Grab this guy. Now we can get Creation King back out with Sleepy. And Akihiron has been summoned. We can direct attack, and let's summon Combined Creation for game. So we did start out rough. We misplayed the Super Poly, but we still were able to win it out. The Akihiron's effect, I think, has been kind of a common factor in these games. Being able to directly attack is so powerful. And yeah, that is all the replays that I'm going to show in today's video. I really appreciate you guys stopping by. If you could like and subscribe, that would be great. Till next time, see you.